Hello, welcome to the Wildcat Insider, your source for stories from grades 7, 8, and 9.
October 2nd was Custodial Staff Recognition Day. We are lucky to have Rex as the junior high custodian. Bailey Knoll has the story.
October 2nd was National Custodial Worker Day. I had a chance to talk to Mrs. Gaffney about Rex's impact on the school and to Rex himself.
Rex makes a big impact on the way our schools run. He has a lot of responsibility in our building and takes care of everything from maintenance issues to delivering supplies to our rooms. When we need something done, Rex makes sure that the job gets done, and he'll check with us to make sure we're satisfied. In addition, he always has a friendly greeting for everyone. He'll take time to talk about your interests and your family. Everyone around here probably knows that Rex is also very patriotic. Each morning he honors the men and women who've lost their lives for our country when he raises and salutes the flag. That says a lot about his character. Rex is a kind and hardworking man and makes a big difference around here.
Well, because it stands for our country, and a lot of men and women have fought and died protecting the flag, and I just have a great deal of respect for them and our country. At the junior high, I've been here 12 years. Getting to meet the people and the students, taking care of the building.
You may have noticed some new faces around the hallways. Christian Wedge and Malaya McCowie have the inside scoop on the principals.
So the college I attended was Clarion University of Pennsylvania, and I went there for secondary English education. So I was an English teacher, and then I ended up doing my student teaching and teaching at Franklin area high school.
I went to Penn State up at University Park, so we are Penn State. Go Nittany Lions. I spent 4 years there, and then I did my undergraduate at Penn State, my graduate degree at Montana State University, and then I got my principal papers at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania, IUP.
That's a tough one. I would say besides, my two children being born, which was just such an exciting moment, I would say personally an exciting moment, it's a little bit more wild than that, would be I was able to fly with the Blue Angels. So I was selected last year by the Navy, who came into our high school actually, and they selected me as an assistant principal, and I basically went through a program, and they selected me to fly with the Navy Blue Angels at the Latrobe Air Show in a practice run. And so I got to go up with a pilot for 50 minutes. We got to do all of the maneuvers. We pulled 7 Gs. He knocked me out, knocked me unconscious twice. I came back to, and there's a whole G-force that I wasn't able to keep blood into my head, and it knocked me out, but I was able to come right back. And it was probably the most thrilling moment of my life.
I would have to say the most exciting thing that has happened during my life was getting hired here at Greater Latrobe Junior High School.
I've always wanted to be a teacher. I always wanted to be a coach, and I miss that. I miss coaching basketball. I miss teaching English. But why did I want to become a principal for Greater Latrobe? I'm from here. I went through this school. This doesn't feel like a job to me. This feels like I'm doing something for the community that meant so much to me growing up, did so much for my family, did so much for me. And why I wanted to be a principal here, I wanted to give back to my community. I relate to kids who are growing up in the Latrobe area, and I think it was a pretty easy choice.
Okay, so I wanted to become a principal at a junior high or a high school, mainly because I was a science teacher and I loved what I was doing in the classroom, but I felt like I wanted to make more of a difference in students' lives, and I thought that I could do that as a principal, driving both instruction and working individually with students in a principal role.
So outside of school, like I mentioned, I have two little kids at home. I have a 3-year-old Mason and a 1-year-old Maddie. So besides following them around, and they keep me plenty busy, I really like to work out. I lift in the morning. I do a lot of running on the weekends, and just really into sports, really into spending time with family and friends, but attending sports game, big Pitt fan.
Outside of school, I like to spend a lot of time in Ohio Pile. I do a lot of whitewater rafting. I also do a lot of skiing and winter sports activities as well.
So during high school, I was a student council member. I was in various clubs. We had a Leaders of Tomorrow club, Interact club, Key club, and as mentioned with sports, basketball was just a big love of mine growing up. And so I played all kinds of sports. I played, as a younger kid, I played football and baseball, but when I really got to the high school level, I really concentrated on basketball and track and field as well.
When I was in high school, I was a golfer, I was a swimmer, I was a softball player, I was a skier, and I was also a cheerleader.
The new school year brought many changes for the students and staff. In today's Cat Chat, Sophia Stanchula and Andrew Bryant asked students what has been the best and most challenging part of the new school year.
My favorite thing about the new school year is meeting new kids, and the most challenging part is getting to class on time.
The most challenging part about this year is getting a girlfriend.
The best part about this year is the 8th grade football season.
My favorite part is getting to see Eric every day, and my least favorite part is walking around everywhere.
I think the best part of the school year is probably meeting new friends and making new experiences. And the worst part is probably getting all my homework done on time. The most challenging part of the year is opening up my lock.
The best part of the year is making new friends.
The best part about this school year is being the mascot.
The most challenging part about the school year is doing all my homework.
To help with some of those challenges, Isabella Bear spoke with the guidance department about some tips for success.
Okay, these are Mrs. Novotny's 5 tips for being successful at Greater Latrobe Junior High School. First of all, be organized. This is a skill that you'll use the rest of your life, so you want to start that now. And one way you can do that is by utilizing your agenda. Use it to write down your homework. Knowing when your tests are and when you have assignments due can really help you improve and be successful. Tip number 2, be a self-advocate, meaning kind of stick up for yourself. If you need help or if you have questions, you need to support yourself and make sure you're asking those questions and get them answered. Tip number 3, take advantage of tutoring in math lab, and this is part of being a self-advocate as well. But if you need help, it's your responsibility to make sure you get that help. The math lab is open every period of the day, so you have access to it every study hall that you have. And tutoring obviously is every Tuesday and Thursday, so you can ride the senior high bus in or get a ride from a parent to get help from your teachers at that time as well. It's also been found for tip number 4 that students who are very active in sports or different clubs, that hard work to be successful in those sports and clubs transfers over into the classroom. So get as involved as you can in your school. It will help you academically as well as to develop new relationships. Tip number 5 from Mrs. Novotny is to set goals for yourself, whether it be in the classroom or on the athletic field. If you have goals that are written down and you prepare to meet those goals and have a plan to achieve them, that will help you be more successful.
We will be back after this commercial break.
If you plan on going to the dance, you may want to wear some cool dancing shoes. Preston Yingling, Khalil Stewart, and Robbie Loffer showcase student footwear on Heat in the Feet.
may have seen new artwork hanging in the long hallway. Chris Maleka had a chance to talk to Mrs. Jordan about this year's junior high art vote.
I chose some 7th grade art students and 8th grade student council, and we went to Latrobe Art Center to choose 5 pieces of artwork. The students chose a variety of artwork between digital piece, a photograph, an oil painting, watercolor, and a chalk pastel drawing. Some of these artists that we chose have been selected before, and others are new to our collection. The students will vote on paintings sometime in October. When we purchase the artwork, it will be displayed in the long hallway by the band and the gym.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Wildcat Insider. We will see you next week.